Hashtag inner child, come out and play. This is Luis Martin, the art engineer, and clearly I'm not a child, which is why I'm wearing my collar shirt today. Behind the camera we have
Chunky Baker here.
The effervescent Chunky Baker. Listen, I don't know if you've noticed, but I had a pretty interesting childhood. And if we found each other, I'm pretty sure you did too. So let's talk about this. Come out and play. Let your inner child out for a minute, just a minute, because it can get a little messy. So I got some stuff, and come check out what I have. So I did a little bit of research and collected things that reminded me of my childhood. Brothel. No, I'm just kidding. So I really think you should look for, in particular, other than things that resonate with you for your childhood, is a proxy. I found this little guy. This is going to be my proxy. Proxy meaning this is going to represent me in my childhood. It's actually an Aztec figure. I'm not sure what it represents or what it means, but I thought, yeah, the body posture, the little mask reminds me of my childhood. It has my energy. So I'm going to start with this. I also have some retro stuff. We had this TV. You know, there's a little darkness, yada, yada, yada. So I have some stuff that I want to play with. Check that out. And look at this. Oof. Okay, so let's get started. Childhood. So Elvis, how was your childhood?
It was always fun.
That's beautiful. Mine wasn't so much fun. So I think it's really fun to kind of rewrite your story and have a fun childhood like Elvis and other people who didn't become artists. Like I said, I had a very fun childhood, a very interesting childhood. I learned how to smoke when I was 8 from my babysitter, and I will forever love her because she gave me something to do in my childhood as I waited to grow up, which is why this reminds me of me. But you know, one thing that's really important about childhood traumas is to not let them limit our stories moving forward, right? You know, I'm a huge fan of pop psychology. I'm all, look, I hate this. Look how this just reads my greasy fingers. At any rate, don't let your past mess up be greasy fingers and mess up your style. Don't let it cramp your style. So, easier said than done, but I must say, I think that's why I grew up to be a 40-year-old man inviting people to come playing collage with him because when I was a kid, I was so alone. So all is well in the world. Okay, here we go. Look at that. I'm free. Oh, so cute. Okay, so I have a huge piece of paper here to play. And look at this. He's so ready to be something. Because it's from a black silhouette, there's a few things that I want to clean up here. So, you know, I'm a stickler for selling the illusion. And if you look really closely, you can see the influences that Tim Burton actually used in his movies. He was very much influenced by Mesoamerican sculptures. So that's kind of cool. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So when you go look at Nightmare Before Christmas, or even maybe even Edward Scissorhands, there's some objects that are very Mesoamerican. Super cool. Okay, so usually I go the symmetrical way, but I found this, and then I also had found another piece of jungle and beauty. So I thought it'd be interesting if I was facing away. That is, I mean, print, right? I think this is a collage already. This reminds me of something really fun. When I was a kid, I used to escape my house, like many people, and go have torrid affairs with older men. And my dad once rewrote Where the Wild Things Are and kind of replaced the character's name with my name, and it was very sweet. It was the sweetest thing he ever did. Well, no, that's not true, but very sweet. So this resonates with me because of the jungle and where the dark things are. So let's see. Elvis, what's your fondest memory of your childhood?
I think we grew up with so much family members.
Mm.
It was always like playing with our cousins.
Lucky you. Yeah, I think that's why Elvis and I work so well, because we're so different, right? People say opposites attract, which is funny because I think when we're artists, we tend to look for other artists to kind of be arty together. But Elvis is the least darkest person I know in that sense. And yeah, I love that. I love that you have that energy of a big family, because, there's definitely big family energy. And then there's big loner energy, like me. So that's kind of fun. Oh, that's kind of interesting. What if he's watching TV? Okay, fun. And what else do I have in my pile? So when I think of childhood, I think of, being kind of sheltered and overprotected. So I kind of had to invent everything, invent the colors that I wanted to see in my future. The things that I saw on TV made me very optimistic. I saw a lot of movies, so I knew I wanted to come to New York. So I need a bigger space. Last time I tried to do a circle and I couldn't find my CD. Oh, I see it. So I did it freehand, and I did a pretty good job on this one. So let's see. So one thing that when you're young and when you're a child and you go through these things, they stick with you, right? They kind of formulate the way you see life moving forward. I was a very chunky, okay, fine, I was fat. I was a very fat child, and everyone reminded me every moment of my childhood. So, it's to a certain extent, I still feel like that person, like that child. And it takes a lot of work to kind of let go of that. So this collage, my work, what I do with working with other artists, in many ways, it's kind of healing that part of me, right? Since I had no one to play with, I'm still looking for people to play with me, and people who are looking for other people to play with, and really find glee, right? So when I was thinking of this prompt, I was thinking of not come out and play, but come play with us. But I thought that was kind of creepy. It's from The Shining case. It doesn't ring a bell. Okay, I'm going to commit to these guys because something's happening here, and I like it. But in talking about trauma, sometimes we kind of get lost in it, right? And then we believe our own story and we dwell in it. So be careful, please. Don't let a victimized point of view kind of trap you, because that is super dangerous. I've lost a lot of people to it. Okay, this is cool. Actually, this is really... Do I want to cover that? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, but I do like this. And then check this out. Isn't this beautiful? So this is already ready to be something, right? So let's see what I can do with this. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I do like to kind of fantasize about Elvis's childhood, because he used to go to the Dominican Republic a lot, right?
Yes, every single summer for almost 2 months at a time.
That's amazing. So maybe, we could have crossed paths in my metaphysical jungle and your real jungle. Because your jungle looked just like this, didn't it? Looked just like that.
It is very tropical where you're from.
It's amazing. I kind of like this because it kind of looks like a code, right? Kind of like some kind of message. So, let some of these narratives come out if they're not too painful. Or if you had a fabulous childhood, celebrate that. Show us. Let me see. I have a very interesting memory when I was a kid. I used to ditch school and hang out in downtown LA before it was cool or safe. And one day I was sitting literally on the floor smoking a cigarette, just waiting for the school day to end so I can go home. And this woman in a like prom dress just came up to me and just started talking to me, and there was so much magic in it because she literally had a prom dress, and I was like, what is going on? But I didn't address it right away. I was like, I just indulged her in conversation. And then I asked her, why are you wearing a prom dress? And she even had a tiara. And then she scurried away. And I thought, oh no, I killed the magic, right? And that's such a thing, right? It's like touching a bubble. You can't break that wall because it just pops and goes away. So I always think of her. I always wonder what her story was. Her lipstick was like running all over her face, and it was fascinating. So I hope she's doing well wherever she is. Oh, this is fun. Oh, I kind of like this a little bit better. I must say, I do feel like I'm getting younger every year because I feel freer from these traumas every year for the work that I do to, I guess, heal myself, if that sounds a little new agey. Okay, something's happening here, I like it. He almost looks like a monkey, doesn't he? You know how I feel about monkeys. Beautiful. So I loved my nanny. My babysitter was the coolest person in the world. She is the one that started taking me to thrift shops, and we buy bags and bags of things. I think she also made me into a hoarder, actually, her and my mom. At any rate, it was fabulous. She taught me how to see beauty and potential in things that were discarded. And that was an adventure. I remember going to these thrift shops out of town where things were cheaper than in LA, even for a thrift shop, imagine that. And I would lie down in the back of her truck with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend would be like, is he gonna be okay back there? It's like, yeah, he's resilient. I love her. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I have this beautiful bird. Look at that. Okay, yes, let's see how I can use this beautiful bird. So I was also very lucky in my childhood because art kind of saved my life. I've said this a few times and I'll never get tired of saying it. It totally saved my life. And people let me know that I was a good artist before I knew. And I got entered into a lot of contests by art teachers, and I won. One particular one was one that got me a first place ticket. Not a first place. It got me the first prize, which was a ticket for me and my parents to come to New York and be on the Today Show. So I was on the Today Show, and I looked horrible, but it was such a thrill. The moment I stepped out of that plane and was breathed in that New York air, I knew it. I knew this is where I belonged. I knew that this is where I'd become me. So here I am, becoming me. And I still feel that way, I guess. But yeah, there was all this, I still feel very optimistic, but there was all this optimism, which is very important. So we can't let that aspect of our childhood die, right?
I wonder if the Today Show has that archive.
Oh God, I hope not. Don't even put people's ideas. Don't give me ideas. So along with the trauma, when I was a kid, I destroyed so many pictures of myself growing up because I felt so hideous and so out of my body that I just hated it. Because I was bullied in school, and I was, you know, I wasn't raised by my parents, and it was just kind of turbulent. So that would be triggering to see that video. But that's interesting, right? Thinking about triggers, because that's a lot of triggers come from childhood. Oh man, to be a parent. What was your least favorite part of being a kid, Elvis?
Least favorite part?
Mm-hmm. Trick
I don't
question.
know. What's the thing about it?
Oh, this is fun, you guys. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting, you know, because sometimes you just don't want to open that can of worms because it is hard to close. But when you do, and you protect yourself mentally, it can lead to a lot of catharsis. My favorite word. So I don't want to get any angry emails of like people telling me, "Oh my God, my collage is making me depressed." I got this because pancakes are my favorite. I just eat them every Sunday. Elvis makes the most amazing pancakes, and but I don't know. Well, maybe it'll fit. Let's see. I don't want it to trigger me. Look how beautiful, right?
You're afraid it's gonna trigger food or hunger?
Yes. I remember once when I was a kid, I was with my mother who was insane, and one of her boyfriends, and we stopped at a red light, and there was a huge billboard for Jiffy, the peanut butter brand, and there was a huge jar of peanut butter. And her boyfriend looked over at me and he said, "You see those jars? There's about 3 of them in your belly." And I was like, jerk. I mean, I didn't laugh about it at the time. Neither did I cry, but it killed me inside. But you know, you learn to laugh at these things, and you learn to disarm words, right? So that was a thing.
I think of maybe I blocked all those like bad memories.
Well, that's good. That's not a bad thing. Especially if they're not productive memories, right? Like this is beautiful, actually. It almost looks like a tail. And check this out. So I have this. Maybe I can turn this into squares too. It's so beautiful. I feel very lucky to be able to, deal with most of my issues through art. Not everybody deals with their monsters through art, but if you are an artist and you have monsters, they're the best. It's a great way to live where you're not haunted. Oh, I love this. But it's become so linear all of a sudden, right? Ooh. Okay. Something's happening. Yeah. That's interesting. Oh, I never worked this size, so this kind of, I like that feeling of being able to push something away like that. So think about that when you're working. This is beautiful. Check this out. Oh my God, yes. So even when I was a kid, I was always looking at images like that and just knew that this is where I was going. So I'm still renting, so once we buy our house, I'll be sure to start by painting a pink wall. This is from Dante's Inferno. I thought, yeah, this kind of has that energy that I was looking for when I thought about my childhood. So let me play with this. Look at that, so beautiful. And then also you realize, once you deal with your traumas, then you can kind of laugh at other things. But
What was your favorite part of your childhood?
what was my favorite part? I really didn't have any. Good question. Gee, Elvis. I think my favorite part was I had to learn very fast how to size people, who I can trust and who I couldn't. Oh, I love this. Look. And as I was going to say, my aunt is my favorite part of my childhood. My aunt was my only ally. She kind of raised me, and she was the only person who wouldn't kind of turn against me at any point. And I was a gay boy before I knew I was a gay boy, and I watched Flashdance, and I loved Flashdance, and I would make her sit and watch me dance, Flashdance. And she was never judgmental. She never said, boys don't dance like that. Quite the opposite. She was encouraging and gentle. And
was there a particular scene you always danced, or just?
Obviously, then with the water, I would take a bucket and pour it. I'm just kidding. But I'm forever grateful for my aunt, and I think she made me a better person, more compassionate. So love you, Marie, and still is to this day. So that was my favorite part. So this is washi paper. Washi paper is the most amazing thing that I've discovered, or that I've found. Washi tape, yes. I've gone washi tape crazy as of late because of my friend Sai, who's visiting from Thailand. And she was just like, what? You don't use washi tape? So perhaps this is my aunt, actually, now that you mentioned that. I love that. So I'm just going to kind of create a... And you know what's really funny, actually? She was the one that kind of taught me not to be so damn melodramatic about things. I remember at some horrible point in my life, I was telling her something, or telling her about my woes, and I was always dramatic. I was playing music and I was crying, and she's like, stop it. If you're gonna talk to me, don't cry, don't be a drama queen. And I thought, okay. And I was like, oh wow, I could do that. Like, it doesn't have to hurt. So that's a really good lesson to learn, right? Like, you can control your emotions, even when things are crazy. Control your emotions. I love that. Then I have these beautiful stickers here that I think I'm going to give her a halo. Oh, Marie, you have a halo. And that's the fun part, right? I mean, if you've taken this class, you know that things pop out. And now, in my head, this is my aunt. I might have to send it to her. And she's kind of, she literally has this back, you guys. Ugh. This is gonna be a tearjerker. I kind of like how this almost looks like it's like a shielding him, right? So don't be afraid to kind of explore and see where this takes you. Let me see what else. I did like this guy, but that's a little much. It'd be funny if I put the pancakes next to her. She was the pancake maker when I was a kid. Okay, I like that. And you know what? I love this. I really want to incorporate this somehow. So let me take out some of this to see what I can do. Look at that. Maybe just this little window pane. So I'm curious. I hope you guys have some positive elements in your childhood. And I'd be curious to find out how that lives on now, right? Like, how do you celebrate your childhood? I think I celebrate my childhood every damn day by collaging, by making art. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. And then even this little window, maybe. And we're not parents, but I always feel the responsibility to be like, okay, if I ever see a kid who needs something, you know, be ready to be an adult at that point.
Well, with the parents were like your sister.
Yeah, we totally were. She gets mail here. And that was amazing. Now she's an amazing human being, raising her children. But my point is that we can move on. We move on, we move on. Oh man, this is super cool, you guys. So this is really cool by doing that triangle that I've spoken about in the past, by creating, by putting the same colors kind of in a triangle and a triad, it creates kind of like a movement for your eye to move, right? Now I don't know if I like it just 2, but with 3 it really works. And I think this is going to be my finishing touch for this because it just completed it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now where's my double-sided tape? Oh, I love this. So I am, but I was a painter for a very long time, and I used to paint from my collages. My collages were my sketches, and this feels like something I would want to spend time with and make a painting out of, so maybe I'll make that happen. Ooh, Elvis is showing me some nice stuff over there. What is that, Elvis?
Lots of other pastel-y colors that would go well with that.
Oh.
They're like marble.
I think it's already a little too much, but I do like these. I like this. I think this is good. Let's see. Yes. All right. And I think we have a collage. Okay, do I need this? No, I don't think I do. Okay. So let me just connect this, and then we'll see what we did. All right, so let's see what just happened. All right, so this is my inner child collage. Why does it work? Well, it's my childhood. I found a really great proxy. So I think if you start with something that represents you, everything else will kind of unfold for this task, right? In talking, actually literally in talking, having this conversation with you and with Elvis, I realized that, oh, I'm kind of honoring a person in my childhood that kind of made everything all right. And all of a sudden it just becomes so beautiful. And, you know, healing touch and optimism and creating your own little world and building on that, right? Building on that as an adult. So that's my collage. And these are my stories of my childhood. So yes, I survived, and so did you if you're watching this. So there's a lot to build on, and there's a lot to cull and mine from the beauty of our childhood, no matter how horrible it was. So this is Luis Martin, #InnerChild. Come and play. I'll see you here next week. Bye.